I want to share a couple of breakthroughs that I had with how I conceptualize minimalism. And I think they're really helpful in disentangling ourselves from our stuff and looking at things from the bigger picture. So often our stuff is truly wrapped up in our relationships and how we relate to people. Our stuff sometimes does actually take on a little bit of a life of its own. For example, sometimes we feel indebted to a friend in some way, or sometimes we have someone in our lives who demonstrates love through gift giving, or we might have that friend that just really enjoys the finer things. And it kind of reminded me of systems psychology, which I am not really an expert in, but I did learn about at one point in my training. And systems psychology looks at individuals as systems. We're all beings trying to create homeostasis or a kind of stable way of being. And also, we are part of bigger systems. Families are a form of systems. Our schools and education systems are a system. Our workplace or companies that we're a part of, how we relate to our friends or our communities, it's all different forms of systems, and we're navigating that as part of that system. And quite often, stuff, belongings, money, all of that does play a role in how we relate to the rest of the world and navigate these systems. I almost think of it in a visual way, like our stuff plays a role in the constellation of how we connect to other people, our work, our friendships, our families, all of that. They are little vessels by which sometimes we connect or relate to other people. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it's understandable as to why we are so connected to our stuff, and almost to validate my own struggles in getting to be in a more minimalist place. It's hard to do that because part of how we relate to other people is via stuff, through gift giving, through showing off our stuff in some way to other people to demonstrate something about ourselves. And that sounds superficial, but I guess I'm trying to validate it on a deeper level, that it makes sense that sometimes we develop these attachments to our belongings because they often do something for us. Like I learned something about someone based on what they wear to an event. Are they trying to be casual and friendly? Are they trying to show that they're being really serious about this event and that this is very special by dressing up? What we have actually demonstrates something to other people, and sometimes our stuff really does help us connect to other people. But then the question becomes, is it even possible then to extricate ourselves from stuff? Like, will we always have to rely on stuff to a certain extent? And in all honesty, I think that might be the case, that we need to have some stuff in order to survive, in order to eat, in order to, navigate the world. But that being said, I had another thought that really helped me think about how I can still reduce my reliance on that stuff in order to connect. And it's just a little something that I've been reminding myself lately that I found to be really helpful. The thought is, there's only so much you can love belongings, but an infinite amount you can love people. There's only so much you can love a jacket. There's only so much you can love a car. But love for people, it's endless and evolving and beautiful. The depth and intricacy of human relationships is so profound. It's honestly impossible to fully understand because our brains develop all these millions of connections, and how we relate to people affects how we think and how we navigate this world. Just think about somebody you really care about. Think about when you first met them, and then think about more recently, how your feelings for them have changed, what new information you've learned about them, how you feel about them differently now. There's so much to learn and so many ways to grow. And that human relationship is going to ultimately be so much more deep and powerful and complex than any belonging. One other thought I've had lately that's helped me with this is that practically anything, any material belonging, is attainable. Now, it might take like 10 years of your life to work to get enough money to buy the thing, but practically anything is attainable. I guess I got to add a caveat here that obviously there are financial limitations we all face, and it's not like we can literally buy anything. But I guess I'm trying to make the point that all material goods are technically attainable through money, whereas relationships are something that you have to foster and nurture, and that organically grows. It's not something you can buy. And that makes those relationships that much more valuable. I'd rather spend my energy on things like education and skill building and experiences that help me grow. And I'd also rather spend my time on my relationships and deepening those connections with other people. So this was a pretty simple, straightforward video, but I just wanted to share some of these thoughts I've been thinking about lately. And I think it relates to some of the topics I've talked about in the past, but I think really thinking about our objects in almost this visual way as connectors to other people, but then thinking about how we can reduce our reliance on those particular ways of connections and instead focusing on how we can deepen our actual relationships and how amazing those relationships are. That whole thinking is really helpful to me. Let me know if any of you have reactions to this. I'm interested to hear what you think. Thanks so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.